And at a climate summit with world leaders today, President Biden announced a new pledge for the U.S. to cut its greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030 and to reach zero emissions by 2050. The president says the move will not only help the environment, but also the economy.
I see an opportunity to create millions of good-paying, middle-class union jobs. I see line workers laying thousands of miles of transmission lines for a clean, modern, resilient grid. I see workers capping hundreds of thousands of abandoned oil and gas wells that need to be cleaned up, and abandoned coal mines that need to be reclaimed, putting a stop to the methane leaks and protecting the health of our communities. That's where we're headed as a nation. And that's what we can do if we take action to build an economy that's not only more prosperous, but healthier, fair, and cleaner for the entire planet.
Now, for more on this, we're joined by Naina Agarwal-Hardin of the Sunrise Movement, a youth-led climate action group. Naina, thanks for being here. What do you make of these new goals that President Biden is setting?
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to spend Earth Day with the viewers. And I would say, first and foremost, that we applaud President Biden for this new commitment, and we are so relieved to see the United States finally catching up to the rest of the world in recognizing that the climate crisis is real and demands urgent action. But we also have a responsibility to tell the truth. And the truth is that this commitment is not yet ambitious enough. The United States, as historically the biggest polluter and as one of the richest nations in the world, has a moral obligation to do more than just the bare minimum when it comes to cutting our emissions. And the good news is that we have the resources, we have the ideas, we have the leadership to cut our emissions by more than 50% by 2030 and do our fair share in transitioning our global economy away from fossil fuels in line with the most updated science. All that remains left to do is build the political will and get it done.
Well, Naina, let me follow up on that. So what is your vision? What would an ambitious, as you say, an ambitious climate program do? How would the administration need to meet that ambition?
Well, the vision is actually there. I mean, President Biden expressed very well in the soundbite you just played the vision of creating millions of good union jobs, building a clean energy economy, and reinvesting in our country's communities. In terms of the actual numbers, the most recent science is saying that the United States may need to cut our emissions by as much as 100% by 2030 if we're going to do our fair share in meeting that global target of 50% by 2030, because we have historically held so much of the responsibility for the climate crisis. But like Advisor McCarthy said, this is not necessarily about sacrifice. It's also about opportunity and hope. There is so much good, dignified work in building the future that we need. And that's why Sunrise is calling for the creation of a civilian climate corps and a whole host of other equity and justice initiatives to realize this dream of a sustainable and just future for our generation.
Now, Naina, Senator Shelley Moore Capito, the top-ranking Republican on the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee, she's just one of many critics who've argued that Biden's climate actions are too aggressive, too ambitious for the economy. And she says they could kill thousands of jobs in her state alone by moving too quickly. And the idea that those jobs will be quickly replaced with renewable energy jobs, she says, is a fantasy world that does not exist. So what's your response to that?
I would say that scientists, economists, and activists agree that the biggest risk we run right now is not investing enough. We absolutely can create jobs by combating the climate crisis. We just saw a new proposal rolled out from Senator Markey and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez just this week for a civilian climate corps that would create 1.5 million jobs in 5 years. And those jobs would be revitalizing and reinvesting in communities that have been left behind in this country for too long. My own family has roots in Appalachia and in some of the most impoverished and most affected communities in this country when it comes to the legacy of the fossil fuel industry. So I know that it is important to include workers in this transition, and that is absolutely what we have to do. And I think there are many ways to do it.
Naina Agarwal-Hardin of the Sunrise Movement, with an ambitious climate change program and the political will that we need to see it done. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.